Man, and we're going to talk about his background and everything. But today I'm in Star, and I'm in a house. It's an old house that he's actually renovating, and his wife has turned into a retail store, so we'll give her a free plug. But Kole, first of all, tell me about where I'm at today, and tell us about this old house you're renovating.
You're actually in the old Naples bed and breakfast house in Star, Idaho that we recently purchased about 6 months ago to put our offices in. And that was kind of the initial plan, and then my wife decided to obviously put in a retail store and a little day spa. So that ended up coming first, and my office out back will come along here in the near future.
And I'll just briefly say that if you're listening to this podcast, don't bring your wife. My wife will never come here. This is not good. But anyway, let's get back to you. So you are a builder, but I know that your background is actually in a different field originally, and you've been in business since what year?
I've been in business since 2001.
But your background is actually what?
Prior to becoming a builder, I worked as a chemical engineer for a place called Bspoke, and I worked as a carpenter's apprentice going through college.
So not a big jump to become a builder, actually.
No, not really. I mean, building is a lot of scheduling and being on top of your paperwork, knowing what's going on in your jobs. It's very similar to really the engineering side of things, and it's just detail-oriented. I think it kind of makes me uniquely qualified where I do have a diverse background, but all of my previous experience definitely is advantageous to what I do now.
So I think one of the themes of this podcast is going to be research and development, which is a strong suit of yours. And tell me how you utilize research and development, which would be a great thing for as an engineer background. But how do you use that for your building business?
The research and development side of my previous work would come into the fact that I'm always looking for new ways to advance my customers' expectations, their building projects. Always looking for new products to put into our homes, things that, guys that have been around a long time may not be looking for that new product, and they're not willing to step outside the box. And that's kind of my mindset is, if it's something that we can kind of dream up, I want to make sure that we can make it possible, and that's only capable by getting a little bit out of your comfort zone. And by doing that, I think we come up with some really unique projects and do some things in our homes that you may not see in some of the other homes.
And I'm going to say that's probably a business philosophy that's working for you, because you have built a number of homes since you have started into the business, and obviously have been successful. And I'll just tell everyone right now that we've been talking about some of the homes that are presently in the market, but you've got homes in Arrowhead Canyon, which is a beautiful subdivision, and Two Rivers, which is probably one of the more well-known prominent subdivisions in Eagle, Idaho, and several other places that you've built. And I know you build upper-end homes, and to date, this is probably the first advertising you've ever done.
It really is. Up until about 6 months ago, I didn't even have a yard sign to put out in front, and I finally decided, well, maybe I should go ahead and do that. But really for us, our business goal and kind of our philosophy has been built around referrals, and I think that most people in this valley, that's kind of where they're coming from. And a lot of people probably haven't heard of me, but if you've been into one of my homes, you'll definitely remember, and most of my business does come from past clients, and so I haven't had to advertise. And
couldn't ask for a better business model where you don't have to advertise.
I
do have to advertise, just so you know still, but that's okay. I'm not opposed to advertising. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that make you unique as a builder. One of the big ones that was an easy jump for you is becoming an Energy Star builder. Just tell me a little bit about being an Energy Star builder and why it's important. And I think one of the greatest things you told me was that it was a no-brainer. I mean, it's the right thing to do. It wasn't a leap for you to change your ways. You were already building highly quality and meeting those codes. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think really the jump, especially when you're doing kind of an mid to upper end home, most of the people are already doing the majority of the qualifications necessary to reach the Energy Star standard. It may be a matter of getting some high efficiency water heaters that you may not have been previously doing, but really it's a small jump. And in doing that, we're able to actually go through a third-party verification. And I know Tad Doobie with OnPoint is fairly active with building credibility, and he's been my certifier since I started, kind of got me involved in the Energy Star. But really, it's been great. My homeowners just rave about the fact that their energy bills are so much lower. And it goes a lot further than just building an energy quality home. It's about sustainability. It's about the long-term quality of the home. Our homes that we're building for 100, 200 years down the road. We're not building for the next 25 years.
So on that note, let me interrupt there, because we were talking before that we started hitting the record button, and I hope I don't offend you when I say this, but you said that one of the benefits of doing business with you is that you try to add a ton of value to the home, and one of the ways you do that is you feel you don't quite charge as much as maybe other builders are charging. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, my philosophy has always been I'm not ever trying to squeeze every dollar out of every deal. I really try to give the people what they want. Really, it's about, again, it goes back to my business philosophy that, I want my business to come from referral, and I want people to have a home that they enjoy. It's all about building a home for the individual at the same price point.
And I'm going to cut you off right there, because I think this is a great place to end this conversation before we all blow it and say something crazy. But I will tell you this. Advertising is expensive, and the best advertising you can do is doing a great job. So if you have to give your clients a little bit more and it costs you a little bit more, it probably paid for itself. And since you've never had to advertise, I say it's working. And we thank you for sticking around today. This was Kole.